Namaste. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to class. So as has become our tradition, we're going to do a little bit of pranayam, a little bit of breath practice into our short meditation, and then spend the rest of the class on asana. So find your comfortable seat. If you know you need a shawl or something for your meditation, just go ahead and bring it now so that you have it with you. You don't have to move at all between your breathing practices and your meditation practices. The purpose of the breathing practices is to let you slide right in to meditation. Okay, comfortable seat, and legs can be very propped up wherever you need them. But when I sat this morning, I had my legs propped up, and then when I came back, I didn't need to because they finally relaxed. So whatever you need to keep yourself propped up with your legs and comfortable, okay? Good. Nice tall spine, erect spine. And then let your legs relax. Let them just fold out of you, your legs, your feet, everything relaxed. And then out of this solid base, let the spine lift up. Bringing the hands into the heart, Anjali Mudra. Taking a soft gaze toward the floor or letting your eyes close completely. With gratitude, we salute all the great yoga masters, past and present. A special prayer of thanksgiving for Baba Hari Das. With joy, we recognize the excellent wisdom teachings of yoga, Ayurveda, all the Vedic sciences. And with vigor, we dedicate ourselves to self-transforming practice. So thinking of what you need this morning for self-transformation. Tomorrow is Guru Purnima, which means the day of the teacher. It's a day where we'll honor all the teachers that we've had in our lives. So perhaps for just a moment, thinking maybe of your first grade teacher, of a teacher in college that you really liked, or a teacher somewhere in your life, and bring that teacher into your space. Maybe a child of yours, it may be a spouse, maybe anybody that has been a great teacher for you. Bring them into your space for the day. And then join me if you can in one resounding Om, exhaling the breath out and inhaling to chant. Om. And then just letting the hands come down to the legs. So this morning, we're going to do 4 actions, 4 kriyas that will lead us hopefully into a quieter mind ready for a meditative state. So the very first one is just exhaling the breath out and in through the nose. It's just very simple. These are all chest breaths until we get to the 4th one, okay? So everything is happening in the chest, which means your belly is relatively stable, okay? So let's begin the kriyas. I think I'll say them once. You can start with me. And then I will recap it. And if you started, start over again, because we're going to do them 5 times. And I'll say, we'll do this 5 times, begin. And so start over. If you started, you can start the mechanics of it so you really get it, but start over with your round, okay? So exhaling the breath out. Inhaling slowly, gently, smoothly through both nostrils into the chest. The belly pulls in slightly. Exhaling slowly, gently, deeply, also through both nostrils. Chest breath, inhale nose, exhale nose. We'll do this 5 times. Let's begin. Moving to the next Kriya, placing your hand in Vishnu Mudra. So just tucking in the index finger and the middle finger, or placing them right at the third eye, and using your thumb for your right nostril and your ring finger for your left nostril. So getting your hand ready. You're going to horseshoe the breath. You're not going to horseshoe the breath. You're going to circle the breath through. So we're going to inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left, exhale right. Okay. So exhaling the breath all the way out, closing off the right nostril, you'll inhale left into the chest, slowly, gently, smoothly. Top of the inhale, switch fingers and exhale right, slowly, gently, smoothly. You'll switch fingers and inhale again. So chest breath, inhaling left, exhaling right. We'll do this 5 times. Let's begin. You'll end with an exhale out the right nostril. And then we're simply going to switch the pattern. This time we'll inhale through the right nostril, switch fingers, exhale through the left. So chest breath, circling it through. Chest breath, inhaling through the right nostril, switching fingers and exhaling through the left. We'll do this 5 times. Let's begin. And then relaxing your hands on the thighs as you exhale out the left nostril for the last breath. And then moving into the final Kriya, the final action. Beginning with an exhale, exhale the breath out, belly to spine. Release the belly and let the breath come in. Abdominal breath. Beginning with an exhale, exhale all the way out, release the belly, and the breath comes in. We'll do this 5 times. Let's begin. And after your fifth breath, just sitting for a moment, noticing the effects of the pranayam on the body, on the breath, on the mind. Sliding right into our meditation. As little movement as possible. And letting your mind come to the base of your body, right below your tailbone. And then envision yourself sitting in a liquid pool of mercury, but it is silver white. And every inhale, the mercury goes up the spine, little by little, with each additional breath. Mercury coming up, this liquid mercury filling the spine, until after 10, 15 breaths, you feel your whole body is filled with liquid mercury, from the tailbone to the crown of the head, from the fingertips to the toes, letting the whole body, little by little, with each breath, fill with this pool of liquid mercury below you, until you and the pool of mercury merge. Silver white light, your whole body shimmering. Silver white light. As thoughts come in, bring them back to the fountain of this light in the spine. Each breath keeps you filled with the light. Stay with the light. Stay with the source of the light. The whole body and the pool of light are one. Shimmering, silvery, white light. Fixing the mind on the white light. And begin to feel it recede from your fingertips, from your knees, from your feet, from the crown of the head, all beginning to enter again into the spine. And from the spine, slowly down to the base, right below your tailbone. Returning the pool of liquid, silvery, shimmery white light to a pool below you. Nourished, filled. Releasing the meditation and then bringing yourself fully back into the room with your 5 senses. So noticing any sounds, letting your eyes flutter open and just noticing your space. Notice the taste in your mouth. Notice the touch of the mat below you. Begin to make some circles, nice, slow circles. Other direction. Notice any smells. And then bringing the arms up and holding on to your left wrist and just reaching over to the right side for a moment, just reaching over. And then come back up, just reach the arms out, circle the wrist, and then reach over and hold onto the right wrist and lean to the left. Good. And then coming back up and take the arms back behind you. Reach the fingertips together, squeeze the arms, see if you can put the palms a little closer. Good. And then release the arms, give yourself a hug. And then go back one more time, interlace the uncomfortable interlace. And then give yourself a hug to the other direction. Good. And then let's move out down onto the floor for a moment. We're going to do a little leg work. Well, wait, stay where you are for a minute and let me just show you what we're going to do for just a moment so you won't have to crane your neck and look. And I'll call it out to you as we do it. But we're going to lie down and we're going to work with one leg at a time. So first we're going to stretch into a Tadasana. And then we're going to lift one leg. We're going to externally rotate it, bend the knee, and try to be on the floor in this modified tree pose without leaning over to the side, right? So we're trying to keep all of the integrity of the spine. We're going to be there, and then we're going to take it up again, and then we're going to play a little bit with the leg, with it bent, and I can call you that out. So just come down to the floor so you can sort of see where we're going, and hopefully you can just, hopefully my voice will be enough to tell you what's going on so you aren't craning your neck to look at your screen. So extend your legs out first, flex the feet, keep the heels firmly on the floor. So finding your Tadasana stance, you can even take anatomic pose with the palms facing the ceiling for a moment. Press your shoulders down, make sure you have low back curve. You have curve under your neck. I have curve under my knees, right? You don't want to press your knees down. Good. And then very slowly and gently, without moving any other part of your body, if you can, begin to lift your left leg slowly, 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 slowly. Good. And a straight leg, so it may not be straight up, it may be out a little bit, like at a instead of a 45, it may be at a 40-degree angle, something like that. So wherever 30, wherever you've got it's perfect. Well, I guess we're going to have it at a 90, so maybe it's at an 80, wherever it is. And then externally rotate. So toe goes out, heel comes in, externally rotate. And then place the outside of your left foot somewhere on the outside of your right leg. And then open the knee part. So keep pressing into the floor. Don't lean to the left. Don't lean to the left. So your left ankle is somewhere on your right thigh. Keep your belly in. Don't let your ribs climb up. Shoulders into the floor. Legs are working. Both legs are working. Your torso is even on the floor. You may have to press harder into one side than the other to keep it so. Good. And then let's unleash the left leg. Bend the knee in toward the chest for a moment and take the leg up one more time and just see if that alone changed any of where you were in your flexion. Good. And then bend, keep your hands and arms on the floor. We're only working with the legs. So bend the knee and take the left leg out toward your left elbow for a second, just out toward the left elbow. So opening it up and some more rotation. But now the leg's not so long. Good. And then bring it back. And then take the knee over a little bit toward your right hip bone, just a little bit. And then let's take the leg one more time up, but this time point the toe of the left foot. Good, reach up. Try to flex the right foot and then flex the left foot too. So now we have Barbie shoes on the left foot. And then slowly, we're going to take that leg down toward the ground, nice and slowly. As slowly as you can. And then flex the foot and place it on the floor. Good. And just notice how one side had to work so much harder than the other. Okay. Good. And now right leg coming right on up. So instead of 90-degree angle, you may be 80 or 70 where you are. Perfect. Good. Just be there. And then externally rotate your right leg. And then bend the knee so that the outside of the ankle goes somewhere on your left thigh, somewhere above the knee on the left thigh. And don't let your left side move. Don't let it fall over to the right. Keep your ribs in, keep everything in, keep working. Your core has to work here. Your shoulders are still pressing into the floor. Your left foot is flexed. Good. And then let's bring the leg back up slowly, all the way up. Nice and up and press through and just notice if anything changed. Both feet are flexed, press your both flexed feet. And bend the knee and then take the right knee out toward the right elbow. Just the knee toward the elbow. And then bring the leg back into neutral and then take the knee out towards your left upper hip bone, like up to the top of the pelvic basket. Just a little bit, doesn't have to go very far. And then come back into neutral and then flex the foot up for a moment and point the toe. Really point and reach through. Keep your left foot flexed on the floor and then flex your right toes. So you have on Barbie shoes now. So she's got that high arch. Ribs in. Good, and then flex the foot again fully and slowly, slowly, slowly lower the leg to the floor. Keep as much control as you can and try to not fall over to any side. Good. And then let both legs externally rotate as you relax them for a moment. Just relax your legs and let them externally rotate. So your toes will move out to the side. Toes will move out to the side. Good. And then bring your toes up toward the ceiling. And then lift yourself up on your forearms and just look down at your feet. Just lift up on your forearms. So now you can look down at your feet and make sure all 5 toes on both feet are looking up toward the ceiling. Good. And then again, externally rotate, but this time with control. So now your feet are opening like a book away from one another. Good. And then bring them back into neutral And then take the toes. You can cross the right toe over the left as they head toward each other. The knees are heading toward each other in internal rotation for a moment. And then come back into neutral. And then externally rotate both legs again. And come back into neutral. And now take the left foot over the right as you take the knees in toward one another into internal rotation. Good. And then come up to neutral. Great. Just help yourself up to seated slowly. Come all the way up. And then take your legs just a little bit apart. So you've done a little bit of abduction. You've abducted them from one another. Okay. So sitting up, you can use your hands for support. So they're like an A-frame. Great. And then externally rotate again, but keep the feet flexed and active. Feet flexed and active. Externally rotate. Keep the knees active. Quads are on. And then back into neutral, toes toward the ceiling. And then roll them in, internal rotation. Good. And then back up into neutral. Great. And then let's take the soles of the feet together for just a moment. And notice if your Vajrasana, after all of that exercising and moving of internal and external rotation, does it look any different now? Is it easier? Is it more open? Just look and notice on yourself. Good. And this also relies heavily on the core. So let's come into our table pose. I want to get us up to see some of the differences that might happen in our legs and our standing postures, but let's come through table. Good. So press into the floor fully. Try to get a right angle between your thumb and your index finger, and then press the floor away, come up, arch up, stay there and breathe. So not moving for a moment. Just press the tops of the feet into the floor. Push the floor away with the shoulders. Pull the belly into the spine. Pelvic floor is lifted. And then super slow motion, come into neutral. Just into neutral. Don't slump your shoulders. The shoulders stay strong. Your hips stay strong. You can relax your feet for a minute. Look at the floor. Don't slump into your shoulders. Keep pushing the floor away. And now curl the toes under so you're on nearing the ball of the foot. Good. And let's head in the other direction. Curl the tailbone toward the back of the head toward the tailbone, but keep the neck long. Don't just dump the head back. And once you get there, breathe. Press the floor away. Shoulders are broad. And then slow motion, coming back into neutral. Good. And then deciding if you like your toe out, if you like your toes out or pulled under to have traction, because we're going to go to three-legged for a moment. Okay. So just this three-legged little puppy dog, just taking a leak. Lift up your left leg. Lift it up. Pull in your belly. Belly to spine, pelvic floor is lifted. Straighten the leg. Good. It's just out to the side. Flex the toes. And then drag that foot all the way back. Good. You just pulled your leg away from now your lower leg is externally rotated as you pull away from it. Good. And then toes toward the floor and release. Okay. So same thing on the other side. Just lift. Nice little lift. Press into the floor with your hands. Straighten the leg. Good. And then open the leg slowly back behind you. So the toes are facing the side. The toes are facing the side. And then bring the toes to face the floor. Just notice the difference. It's happening on your standing leg, not on the upper leg where you're really noticing it. this way and down. Good. And then release the leg. Great. And come into kneeling. Fine. Find your kneeling pose. And then let's externally rotate here for a moment, just right here. And you know how when we do warrior two, we're externally rotated, but this leg is also somewhat abducted. So to create that same sort of tension in the pelvic basket, we're going to creep that leg away until we get that abduction back there. And our hips are right in the middle and our knee is over our ankle and we cannot see anything on our foot except perhaps on the inside the big toe knuckle. Arms up. Gazing out, notice your knee is in front of your arms. Good, and then raise the arms up overhead, hands into the heart, and then creep yourself back and release the leg. Good, same thing, right side. Find that rotation. And then creep the leg until you can come in a little bit. That really causes you to lift the pelvic floor, lift in the belly, look down. Make sure you cannot see your heel in any way inside of the leg, big toe knuckle only. Arms up and then gazing out. And notice how your knee is in front of your elbow. And then flip the arms up, come up. Hands to the heart, bring yourself back and to here. Good. And then let's just stand. Come on to the ball of the foot first into our toe balance. And then let's see if we can just take that toe balance all the way up, standing up without going off our toes. A little bit of a kidney massage since we're here. Hike the hip up and other hip hiking to massage the kidneys and the adrenal glands that are sitting on top of your kidneys, right below your back ribs. Good, or right under your back ribs, better said. Okay, and let's go and let's try out what we did with that rotation at the beginning to see if we got any more ease in our pose. We'll start to the left side. So externally rotate the left leg. Good. Leg is straight to start. Just start with the straight leg. Now kick your right heel out a little bit and see if that brings a little bit more equilibrium into your pelvic basket. And bend the knee. Look down, make sure only big toe knuckle, big toenail, arms floating up. Knee is on the inside of your arms. Good. Gazing out. And let's hold this for 5 smooth breaths. Pelvic floor is activated. Ribs are tucked in. Breath is in the chest, low chest, not the high chest. And then on your next inhale, let's flip the palms and exhale. Come back up, arms overhead. Take an inhale right there, lift up, and exhale, hands into the heart. Good, and then unrotate. Great, and then let's rotate the right leg. Straighten the leg initially. Good, and maybe kick that left heel out a little bit more. And then open the arms and stack the knee. And just make sure you cannot see your heel in any direction. You can see maybe your big toe knuckle or nail. Good, let's take 5 smooth breaths. And then on your next exhale, up. Inhale there. And exhale, hands into the heart. Good, and then let's unrotate. And then I'm hoping that that felt a little bit easier for you since we've done so much rotation this morning. So let's come now, again, externally rotating the left leg. And let's stay nice and tall here. And then from right here, go ahead and take your left hand and put it right into there so that you feel that crease increasing. You feel the crease in your upper thigh meeting your torso increasing, and your torso stays open. So moving into our triangle pose. Good. And the bottom arm is equally as long as the top arm, but you can walk the arms away from one another, and the hand can be on the back or on the front. It's all happening from the shoulder, but you aren't dumping into that left arm. Now let's take our upper arm back behind us for a moment. Just see if you can reach and hold on anything to the left thigh. Don't dump any weight there. Good. And then look down at your big toe. Bend the knee and make sure the knee tracks right over your ankle. You should be able to sort of look right over it and see that it's there. And then look back out, make sure your torso is up in front, and just resting the arm again for a modified side angle. And then we can tuck the arm in for a side angle. You can rest this arm anywhere you'd like. And then up. Good. Release. And let's take a little Joan of Arc, but with no arms. Just lean back to the right side and then come back into neutral and straighten the leg and unrotate. And then let's rotate the right leg. Good. And then again, take your right hand and put it right in that crease. And as you lean, kick out your left heel a little. And as you lean, feel the crease. The crease is increasing, right? But you aren't collapsing and you aren't headed forward. Nothing's forward. It's all up. And that crease just got a lot deeper. Good. And you're not dumping into that arm. Both sides are equally long. Good. For triangle. Breathe. Don't let your chest collapse. And then let's take your upper arm and reach around and see if you can hold on anything to your right thigh. Good. Let's keep the right arm open. And then take your gaze down to your toe and bend the knee and stack it over the ankle. And then bring your gaze back to the front. And this arm can be wherever it is. It can be open, it can be relaxed, but just don't dump into that side. And then unleash the arm up for a modified side angle, or tuck it in for a side angle. Fingertips all the way back through your left heel. Action. Good. And then let's straighten the leg, pass back through triangle, and then come up with the leg straight. Release the arms and lean. So there is compression here now on the left side, extension on the right. Come back. One more time. Lean. And come back. Good. Both arms out to the side for a moment and unrotate. And then let's head over into four-legged ghost pose. So a flat back, we could have a block here underneath our hands. Make sure your heels are out behind your second and third toes. So no rotation on the legs now, just abduction. Good, so you're welcome to stay here. If you're inverting, you're welcome to just relax the spine and reach your arms through as much as is comfortable. Or just stay looking ahead. Good, and then let's put our Arms out like on the floor underneath our sternum, our hands on the floor or on a block. I grabbed a block. And then let's start with the left hand on the block and the right hand on the sacrum, looking at the floor. Press into your heels, push your tailbone back. Good. And then starting by looking at the floor and opening first your right shoulder. Let your right shoulder bring your head along with it. And exhale, close it. 3 times. Inhale, open it. Exhale, close it. Inhale, open it. And exhale, close it. Now take your arm right out to the side, parallel to the floor, palm facing down. And this time let the hand lead you. Opening the shoulder, opening the torso, and exhale, release it. Good. Switch hands. Now your right arm's on the block, left arm's on your sacrum, looking at the floor. And then inhale, start with the shoulder, and the shoulder will bring your face and head with it. And exhale, return. Keeping all of this twisting in the thoracic spine. And return. Hips and legs are even and stable. And return. Good. And then draw the arm out parallel to the floor. Press into the right arm on the block. Make sure your heels are active. You can pick up your toes. That will help you stay active in the legs. And then just using your hand to look toward the wall. Open to the left side. Press into the block with your hand. And then slowly release. Good. Bring the hands to the top of the thighs. Take an inhale, get long in the spine, and exhale up. Good. Let's heel toe and come into neutral. So just finding that neutral spot. Just a little bit more standing with our, working with our external rotation. So we're going to work with balance, and I'm coming to the wall because I want to have the wall to really make me work on my leg as well as my balance, and I'll often not be able to do my leg. So I'm going to have the wall, and I'm going to lift the left leg. So you can do this in the middle of the floor or here. Left leg lifts. And then take your victory fingers of your left hand and hold on to your left big toe. And open that leg in external rotation. Just feeling the leg open in external rotation. So everything is still facing the same direction. Your belly, your ribs are in. Your standing leg is firm. And begin to straighten just as much as is comfortable. You can keep a bend in your knee, those of us with tight hamstrings. Good. And then if you've got the wall, for just a moment, play with releasing it. And then release the pose. Good. Let's do the other side, okay? So wherever you are, go ahead and bring in now the right leg. Just bring it in on its own and then hold it in nice and firm. Don't let your ribs slip out. We'll have a tendency here to let the ribs slide out. So keep your ribs integrated into the torso. And then victory fingers, hold on to that big toe. Peace fingers, how about that? Find the external rotation on your right leg. Just notice, feel. Keep your body upright, spine long. Fully firm into your left leg, left side of the body firm. And then begin to straighten the right leg. And those of us with tight hamstrings, it probably won't straighten, and that's fine too. We could have used a strap. And then just walk up your other arm and just see if you can play for a moment. Balancing. Something in your gaze, a drishti that's not moving. And then slowly release the pose and come into Tadasana. Find your Tadasana. Take a standing Shavasana for just a moment, relaxing muscle to bone. Let your organs be heavy, heavy, including the brain. And then letting your eyes flutter open. Okay, so we're going to do one more thing when we come down, one more active thing when we come down to the floor. We're going to do yogi bicycle, okay, because that really works on the core, it works on the legs, and it works on the lower part of the belly especially. Also gets the whole transverse abdominis. So I just want to make sure, if you haven't done it with me, that this is our and I can regroup. Exhale, I extend left leg, left elbow to right knee, and I inhale back and regroup. Exhale, right leg extends, right elbow to left knee, and inhale. Do 15. Yes. Exhale, left extends, left elbow, right knee. Inhale, return. Exhale, right leg extends, right elbow to left knee. Inhale, return. Exhale, return. Right leg, exhale, return. Left leg. Follow your breath, keep it slow. I think that's relaxing. Find yourself laying on the floor. Don't touch your legs. Don't pull in your legs. Not inverting. If you have on the first few days of your menstrual cycle, problems, glaucoma, if you have high or low uncontrolled blood pressure, inverting. I want you just to pick your hips up, shift them over to one side, and drop your legs and twist to the other. So and be sure you lift your hips, shift, lower, and twist, okay? If you are inverting and you want to do it with a block, You can lift as if you were going to go into bridge pose. So just nice big lift as if you were really going to go into bridge. And then you can place your block underneath your sacrum, draw your knees in and legs up, and be in this modified supported version of Viparit Karani Mudra, topsy-turvy pose. So wherever you are, either twisting to either side or in your inversion, I'll watch the time. And then slowly, mindfully, making your way into Shavasana on the floor, into your corpse pose, finding equanimity in the body. So relaxing completely into Shavasana, just letting go. Your hands need to be below your heart, but palms can face up. Legs are relaxed. And your whole body feels soft, heavy, earthbound. As if you were made of clay. And you're heavy, heavy, heavy. Allowing your lips to part slightly, releasing the jaw. Slowly, gently, bringing your awareness into the body fully. Notice your fingers, notice your toes, notice your nose, notice your belly button, notice your knees, your elbows, your ears. Slowly bringing the whole self back in, beginning to make circles with your wrist and your ankles. Beginning to wiggle your face, your nose, your ears, your mouth. Let your eyes scrunch and open. And then consider a nice big overhead stretch. Reaching up as far as you can and down as far as you can. Feel all of your lumbar curve. And then slowly begin to melt yourself over onto one side, bending your knees and gently shifting the hips away from the side you want to go to, and then leaning and going into the other side. All curled up for a moment, just safe and secure in embryo pose. And then taking the hand of the upper arm and put it right in front of your face. Keep your chin tucked in. Begin to press the floor away. Spiral yourself up and take any comfortable seat. Just being still for a moment. Letting all of the practices that we've done together, pranayam, concentration, asana, just letting them come in fully to you. Notice the difference in the quality of your thoughts. Bringing the hands into the heart, Anjali Mudra. And right here for a moment, just remembering your intention and remembering those teachers that you brought into your practice at the beginning. Tomorrow being Guru Purnima, the celebration of all of the teachers, especially the teacher within. So bringing yourself fully into your heart space, pondering your teachers, pondering your own self-transformation, pondering what you feel you need. Any merit we may have earned in our diligent practice of yoga this morning, we lift it up to the welfare of all sentient beings. So finding this offering, letting it slip from your mind to your heart to your hands, and then just lift it up and let it go off into the universe, bringing the hands gently, gently, gently back into the heart. Hari Om Tat Sat. Namaste. Okay. I'm coming to you. Let's fix this so that you can talk. And let me unspotlight. And let me go to gallery. Great. I've got you all this morning now. Thank you. Thanks to everyone. Hope you're doing fine. Good. So, any questions or comments on the practices? Today we did a little bit of the pranayams. I just want to tell you a little bit more about the kriyas. Babaji gave us these beautiful 8 kriyas. We call them swasa yam. Shwasa, breath, yam, retention or restraint, holding. So it's about controlling the breath. I also like to think of it as, because he didn't put the H in there and it's not in diacriticals, I like to think of it as shwasa, also of swasta, which is self-control, self-restraint, right? So either way, they're just bringing us into the breath. So we did the first kriya, which is just inhaling and exhaling through the nose, chest breath. We did the fourth kriya, which is Chandra Vedana, inhaling left, exhaling right. So that's moon, bringing in the moon energy. And then Surya Vedana, inhaling right, exhaling left, inhaling right, exhaling left, which is the sun and solar heating up the body and the breath. And then we ended with our abdominal breath, which is the one that really brings our parasympathetic nervous system online and helps us to stay really focused, right? So I was hoping that that would lead you into the meditation, the mercurial meditation. And I don't know if you could feel like a thermometer up your spine, just pulling that mercury up little by little with each breath. That's what I was hoping for. So I hope that some of you felt that you got a good idea of yourself just being this. How many of you have seen The Matrix? Right? You know, that guy when he turns to silver and looks like, that's all I could see you guys were being little matrix-like figures. These just silver beings that are just liquid mercury, just kind of up and somewhat flowy and moving, you know. I really got that whole idea of all of you just being liquidy, flowing, beautiful, silvery light beings. So hopefully, I hope that you could sort of feel yourself be that light. And then the asana, of course, was focusing really on working with external rotation. And how many of you, when you first came out of all that floor work we did and you put your legs together in Vajrasana or bound angle, you could see that there was a difference in your normal bound angle? Good, good. So out of all that I just said that we did, because we did a lot, any questions or comments or thoughts? I appreciate it when you have something to hold on to. Yes, Guy.
I really, really liked doing that internal rotation in the very beginning of the asana, because it just made a huge difference throughout the rest of the practice. It just really felt like all of that warmth, and then it allowed me to like really intensely enter into the poses, like more with more stability. So that felt really good, and it was very heating.
Good. Well, yeah, however it falls on you. Good. Excellent. Excellent. I'm curious, did most of you really feel that you had more rotation when we did our standing poses because we had done the floor warm up on the rotations? Because if some of you didn't, you know, I'd like kind of like to explore what might have happened when you were laying down. Because sometimes we try too hard, especially those of us of a pitta nature. We try so hard to do it, you know, that we make the muscles never relax. Really, they don't get a chance in that interim period. How many of you for Yogi Bicycle actually could take that respite when we would just inhale and be soft for a minute before you re-engaged and have to go again? Was that okay? But you could find that little moment of okay, inhaling and nice and soft, and exhale and re-engage. Inhale, nice and soft, and exhale, re-engage. Yeah. Because those moments in between of those inhales and that softening, I think is probably more crucial to the efficacy of the um, series than, you know, extending, because that just makes everything have to grab again. But it's like letting it go and then bringing it back, and letting it go and bringing it back. Yeah. Hey, you. Yes,
So,
Chitra.
yes, so I'm so glad you brought that up because I have done this yogic bicycling so many times in the past. But for me, I don't know, it's because of that vision that you have of people exercising really fast. I used to concentrate on the speed and wanting to increase my number of the yogic of the bicycles instead of taking that deep breath in and that respite that you were talking about. That actually made me go further, and it was even better than what I've done in the past. And it was such a big revelation. Thank you
Good.
for that.
Slow is good. Slow is really good. Thank you, Chitra, yeah, thanks. And I'm so glad it was like so obvious to you immediately that you did more by doing less.
Yes.
Excellent, excellent. Did you have something, sweetie?
The question, so when we lift our legs with using our peace fingers, I usually feel a lot of tension and stress at the thumb of my foot, the foot that's lifted. And I wonder, is that normal? Because I tried this in the past as well. So
On where on the foot?
on the back of the thumb.
Oh, on your thumb
The
or the big toe?
big toe. Sorry, I used it wrong.
Okay. Yeah, big toe. Maybe you're just, do you flex your big, like, here's my toe. I'm going to put my peace fingers around, and then I press my toe into my fingers. Are you pressing your toe into your fingers? So,
Oh, yes. I think now I feel better. Yes, now I think it's better now.
yeah, you have to push the toe into the fingers. Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, you just keep pulling it back, and that hurts, right? You have to push. Yeah, totally. You have to push the toe into the finger, right? And then play with that rotation. Yeah. Excellent question. Glad you had it, because I didn't say push your toe into your fingers. And now that's a good cue to give so that everybody doesn't have that issue, because you really do have to do it. And I just say, put your peace fingers. And now I can say, and press your toe into those peace fingers as you lift your leg. Great. Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you for the learning opportunity. So I want to make sure that you guys know that tomorrow is Guru Purnima, and at Mount Madonna, we have a big, huge celebration at the temple. And there is a link on the Mount Madonna, it may be on the mountmadonna.org page, but if it's not, just look up the Sankat Mochan Hanuman Temple. You can just look up Hanuman Temple, Watsonville, California, and it'll take you right there. I think it starts with Arati at 6:30, but I think the actual Guru Purnima starts at 7 or 7:30. I'm not sure, but you can join from 6:30 on, and it's a live stream. Hopefully fixed by tomorrow, because they had the internet went down at the temple. But good Lord willing, it'll be fixed by tomorrow. And it is a beautiful, beautiful morning. All morning. It's not over until like 11 or 11:30, something like that. Our yoga teacher training tomorrow is joining that celebration so that we can really celebrate the teachers within. And then in the afternoon, they teach. They have their first, they start their 10-minute presentation. So someone said to me, why did you do it on Guru Purnima? Because this is a day we're supposed to kind of be off. And I said, no, this is a very auspicious day to begin your teaching. So we hope that that goes really well. But it is a beautiful, beautiful ceremony tomorrow, if you can. And also just to remember tomorrow, all of your teachers. I always think of my first grade teacher, Mrs. Jordan. There's so many different teachers through my life, you know, my master thesis in grad school. I mean, just all of the different people who have really made a big impact on me as a person. And my grandfather, who was a teacher and an educator, I always think my mom was also a teacher, first grade teacher. I was always jealous of those little first graders. I felt like they got more of my mom than I ever did. So, okay, everyone, well, have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And I hope to see you on Tuesday. And I hope you can go to the Guru Purnima celebration and enjoy it amazingly. And then we can talk about it next week because it's pretty fabulous kind of celebration. If you haven't ever seen it, ooh, it's really great. So I hope you can do it. Thanks, Amy. Thank you. Thanks to everyone. Much love. And I'll see you next week. Okay. Ciao.